What's a puppy scammer?
It's like it's always like some kind of like junkie types, and they're like in like the different groups, and they're like, oh, my animal had dogs, French bulldogs or bulldogs, whatever.
A
Oh,
rehoming
sadly,
fee?
sadly, I can't keep all seven. And they're free, but rehoming fee only.
I never understood how people got that off.
Because I think it's like illegal now to like sell them online, so they just call it a rehoming fee. But these people are like scamming. They don't even got the fucking puppies,
Yeah.
and they're somehow like just getting deposits and jerking people out of their deposits.
Well, that's the thing. You don't. At first, people did it, and they had the puppies, and then they would like. Who's that?
No, I'm trying to.
Turn your volume down.
Yeah, it's just like a junkie stunt, man.
Yeah. You might get one or two people or something
But it's
like
crazy
that.
because people do it in their own name too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was funny too.
They just be burning their name.
There's one particular guy that from around Flagler or whatever. I think he's around like maybe like a couple years older than you, but he's doing it under his name. And then like it was funny because I seen him like post something else, and somebody else was like, oh, no puppies this week or whatever. And then
No
he's
puppies this week.
and then they also like with this Cash App thing, like, oh, I'm feeling generous, Cash App. It's like, oh, that says the motherfucker riding a bicycle around town, like, you know.
Did you see that one that people were doing before where it was like, you have like 8 people and 8 people give $20 and like 2 people win $50, but they got to give the 20, put it back in. Then like it goes, I'm like, bro, this is wild. People got pissed at me because I was like, can you explain this to me?
It's just some like scam, man. And people were like, I don't even know like why they even like buy into that shit. Like I remember like my next door neighbor one time, like when I lived in St. Pete, and like kind of like, well, not kind of like, but it was in the hood. But the lady was just like, oh, Dave, look, I'm gonna $500, and I was like, girl, you ain't getting $500. And she was like, yeah, but they said all I gotta do like. And then I was like telling her how like she was like gonna get scammed, just really. But like just the idea of getting that was like so powerful that she was like, well, what if this? What if that? What if? It's like,
Damn.
nah.
Nah. What if this? What if that?
Yeah, she was like probably like 50 something. Like she was crazy. She got like disability check and this and that. But still, like those are a lot of people like go for that shit.
Hey, little Dave, can you do me a favor? And give me that chair that's to the right of you. I'm gonna try and set up Instagram on it. But man, hold on. I want you to talk about the Brittany Griner thing real quick while I set this up.
Okay.
What she said.
Well, she says that she's not going out of America again unless it's with the Olympics. But it's like, why? Like, first of all, like, people ain't like her in the first place because she was like all like bashing America all the time anyway. And then it's like, people got problems with Russia, and you're gonna like, your entitlement makes you think you could just break the law anyway, And now like, oh, you're the victim because you got busted in another country with some weed. Like, so now you ain't leaving America because, I mean, I guess it's worse than America that she hates so much. So it just doesn't make sense. And like to like paint yourself as the victim in the situation is like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I only make 200 grand. I gotta play out of the country sometimes, John. My 200 grand is just not enough to cut it in this lifestyle. But it's like, we don't make 200 grand, we're straight.
Speak for yourself.
Well, anyway, like acting like, oh, I gotta do this because I just can't get by on this 200 stacks. It's unrealistic. I don't know, man. Like,
So about Brittany Griner, when she says like I'm not leaving the country, no, let me backtrack a little bit. She says the reason that we leave the country is so that we can like make money about like the wage gap and stuff like that. But it's like you're making like $200,000 in the WNBA.
that's what I'm saying.
It's like you're not really struggling. It's not like
Exactly.
you really have to. It's not like, oh, I mean, we're getting paid like $12 an hour. No,
but like
you're playing like 30 games a year.
Yeah, but
and making like 100 grand after taxes.
Yeah, and when you say wage gap, it's like your company don't make as much money as the other company. So what do you mean gap?
It actually operates in a loss.
Exactly. The other men's league got to subsidize their league.
And, it's like, I feel like it's almost disrespectful to say that, but yeah, it has nothing to do with men or women. It's like, I get it. You go over there to make more money. Just say that. You know what I mean? Don't be like, oh, well, let me use this as another opportunity to be like, women don't make, enough money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not going to say it's not that they don't make enough. I think the men just make a crazy amount. You know what I mean?
And weren't we just talking about on the last podcast how actually you were saying that if it is true that it's actually reversed now and that women actually do make more, it's just a smaller percentage of guys, like you just said, that make way more.
Yeah.
To like stagger those numbers. I think down here on like average level, like women, a lot of girls got more bread than guys.
And, I just would like to see, where there is like a guys league that's pretty much subsidized. You know
By
what I
a
mean?
girls league or
like-
by any league.
I guess, I don't know. They say the men's, but men's isn't doing horrible.
But I don't think I've never actually even seen a WNBA game, but it's not very action packed, is it?
I want to go to one.
Didn't you go to a girls game like at UCF not so long ago?
I went to
Or
a guys
UFC?
game,
Oh, that was a guys game.
but I do want to go to the girls game. But by the time I was actually situating stuff, it was out of season.
I don't know if you missed much. I don't know. So, what topics you got this week?
Oh man, I actually want to write down another one. Lamar Jackson got paid. Lamar Jackson, 260 mil. Yeah. The Ravens are still gonna be ass though, so whatever. The draft is on right now. Let me write that down. The draft. NFL draft.
You can't just pick topics in real time and put them on over already scheduled topics. Like you got to put these on for next week.
Well, no, we're definitely going to talk about that stuff. It's happening right now. This mic is crazy, or maybe I'm the crazy one. Hold on. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, there we go. Better. Okay, there's a couple things that I had on here. Jail girlfriend. I'm still trying to figure out what. A jail. Oh. I don't know what I meant by that. Oh, we'll get back to that later. More taxes, less laws.
Well, that meant like if you pay more taxes, you should have to obey less laws,
Oh yeah, that's dope.
which I agree with.
That's
I'm
a
proponent
dope
of that.
topic right there.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like the benefits of taxes and stuff and how high these taxes are, and then I believe you said something along the lines of like, I wouldn't mind paying taxes if I could just like get off a couple of times, on a speeding ticket or something like that.
Well, if I paid a lot, I don't
Like
know.
more taxes.
I feel like
you
you
would
should,
pay
like-
like on a sliding scale.
Yeah,
You pay 10%, you better watch out.
yeah, or no, just like the overall amount that you pay. Like if you're like really rich and you, like someone the other day was like, oh, I had to pay 44 grand in taxes. That's like, damn, that's a lot. So I feel like he should have more privileges than other people, especially the people who aren't paying any taxes, who are just like already benefiting from.
They're actually
from
getting
being here.
taxes.
Yeah, because I don't know what mine ain't. Like I'm on like probably 10% of that or so. I guess if what I actually like pay.
You said the app is like 10% of that, what you actually pay?
Well, yeah, versus him like paying like so like 40. I think it's at 44 or 46, something like that. He had paid. That's a pretty crazy high amount for one person to be paying. That's just like an average person.
I mean, if you're somebody that makes like $250,000 a year, you're probably paying that much.
I'm saying 253 something. like
You're
that,
just
yeah.
paying it weekly out of your paycheck and stuff like that.
It's still a lot, man.
It is a lot.
So you should get more.
When you say get more, what do you mean by that?
More,
More privileges?
yeah.
I think they do. I think they call that like white privilege.
So you think only white people make $250,000 and up?
I think like by the numbers, the majority. Maybe not that much, but maybe that would be the Chinese demographic.
I don't know about white
Or
privilege.
Asian.
That'd be white privilege. That'd be like classist privilege, which it does exist. But if you're paying like, okay, But I think like not having to live in like it's crazy too because a lot of those people who pay a lot don't really live like among us, you know.
They just
Off in the gated neighborhoods,
get
here and
door
there.
dashed all their food.
Especially the richer you get, I think the less you go into town.
Yeah, I see that a lot, but I'm not really that type of person. I like to mingle with the folk.
The fuck, but you ain't that rich either though.
Nah, I know, but I imagine when I did become rich, but I guess by then.
Nah, you're not gonna want to mingle with that riffraff, man.
Have you ever noticed like when you do see rich people, sometimes there's that moment when like, let's say the bill comes, or let's say they're like, oh, how much are drinks? You're like, oh, it's like $6 a beer. They're like, oh, they put like a 50 down or something like that, and then poor people are like, whoa, and then rich people are like, yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, this is the separation.
Like a small scale, yeah. Well, even though if you go out now, are you all cheap like that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What do you mean am I all cheap like that? Like on how much a beer is or something like that?
Yeah.
Calculating it?
Yeah.
Depends. I'm close. I'm not far from it if I was there.
I mean, I'm not gonna be like, no, I don't care. If I'm going out, I'll pay.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but it's like I don't always just like wanna splurge like that. Like I want to get to the next level. Yeah, I could do that. I am at a level where I could do that and not care. But then I'm like, damn, John, you're really not rich enough to not care.
Just do that anyway. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I feel like, if you're dealing with people that have a lot of money, they don't consider it like, say you loan them like $50 or $100 or something like that, or like do them and then they don't pay you, and it's like, hey, you got that couple hundred? Like, "Oh, I forgot about that." And you're like, I could use that 200.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, you sweat me on 200? Yeah, I am.
It was just one night out. Yeah, it happens.
Well, that was a great little conversation about the taxes situation.
Yeah.
I'm about to be done sharing all this stuff, and then I'm gonna get back into it. Okay, now the next topic that I had is
Oh.
Dave says Spanish food sucks. I don't agree with that, dude. I don't agree with that.
Well, I say that because obviously not all Spanish food, because every country is different, but like generally like just like meat and rice and I'll tell you why I say that, because I was at the Colombia restaurant and that's supposed to be like gourmet like Spanish food. It was like whatever, it wasn't that great, but they just charged mad. And then also too, like other restaurants that I've been in have been, but then like you say, like, okay, I mean, is Taste of Portugal Spanish food? Yeah, that doesn't suck though.
Exactly.
But just the everyday.
What?
The everyday is just like
I like it though.
pork
I
and
like.
rice, pork and rice.
I love.
pork,
Well,
rice,
I don't like
plantain,
pork. I like
rice,
chicken.
plantain, chicken rice,
Chicken steak.
I feel like it's just all the same. Chicken rice, plantain.
But okay,
Steak, rice, plantain.
what's the difference? Italian food is literally majority like red sauce and like a chicken or whatever. You know what I mean? Like in a pasta. Or
Or you could have a white sauce or like
here we go.
a basil pesto sauce. Look, it's not gross, but if I had to choose, if you give me a choice of a few, I'm probably not going to pick the Spanish restaurant.
Are you? Okay. Here we go. We go. Okay, so you're picking Thai food over Spanish food?
Heck yeah.
No way.
All
bro.
day. Or Indian.
No.
Or Indian food.
Just no, dude. Okay, Chinese food over Spanish food? Well, Chinese food is my favorite.
I mean, probably, yeah.
He said probably yeah. Hold on, I need to close. It's too
But,
much
I have been to like, see, that's a bold statement. Though. You just can't say Spanish food sucks. Like, I don't think I said Spanish food sucks. Let's not get too specific. Because, you've been to like Texas de Brazil. That's good. Like, I've been to
Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, I've been to like when I go to like a Ecuadorian restaurant one time. But then again, it was the same shit though. It was just arranged differently. It was like some beans, meat with the rice, the egg, and plantain every time with the plantain.
That plantain's fire.
The plantain is fire. But it's just like it's the same thing every time. I feel like.
I don't agree with that, dude. I really think you're hating. But I think that like just the rice, the beans, the chicken, like that salsa verde, like bro, are you kidding me? Like, and it's healthy. I feel like too. Is rice? What kind of rice? Yellow rice?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it's healthy enough.
Healthy
Well, it
enough.
depends. Like, who knows what's healthy? Some people say meat and fat's healthy. Some people say it's not healthy. Some people just want to eat veg, but some people say veg isn't healthy.
Hmm.
So it's like a preference. I'm just saying, if I was given the choices through my experiences, I'm probably not going to pick the Spanish place.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could see the
I
comments.
remember one time I was trying to get a grilled cheese in the bodega in Brooklyn, and the guy didn't like understand like what I was talking about. I was like, "With the grilled ham and cheese," and he didn't get it.
In the bodega.
Yeah, I used to go to that bodega every morning, like, and he didn't understand the grilled cheese.
Hmm. Um. Okay, let's go to another topic that I had on here. Mm-mm-mm. This doesn't have anything to do with you, but the NFL draft, I'm upset. There was no University of Miami players picked in the first round,
Mm.
so that's usually a sign as a University of Miami fan that we're not doing the best, and I'm just upset, man. But it's like all the players that be getting picked from other places are from South Florida, who should be going to University of Miami,
Mm.
but we were banned from winning a championship for a couple years because we like there was a lot of illegal shit going on with the recruiting. But it's like, bro, it's Miami.
From University of Miami.
There was some like alumni.
Mm.
So what would happen was like, okay, imagine you're in Miami, right? And you're like a Miami, like you went to University of Miami, you played in the NFL or something, you're rich, or even like you're some rich like dentist and you
Mm.
just love the University of Miami, you know what I mean? There's just crazy rich people down in South Florida.
Yeah.
So there's this one guy who, whenever there was a recruit, so now look and say you're University of Miami and you want recruits. So he's like, yo, whenever y'all got a recruit, just bring them over my way. You know what I mean? Like, let me know. I'll come scoop them up, come pick them up in a Rolls Royce. Like, I'm just a rich guy, you
Mm.
know? I'm going to take them to this. We're going to go to the strip clubs in Miami. I'm going to give them money. Y'all don't worry about nothing. All you got to do is just drop them off with me. And they're like, fuck it. All right. You know what I mean?
And that's illegal.
Yes. Because, like, it's number one, they're like 17, 18 years old. Number one. Number two, um, you're not allowed to like use money to influence players to like come play places and
Yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
that's like kind of the lifestyle, not just
That's
money.
what we're recruiting.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly what we're recruiting.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go to Oklahoma or Miami. You know,
Exactly.
like,
Why are you trying to make this an even playing field?
yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
But so that's what happened. You know what I mean? And so they banned us. Like they're like, you can win all your games, but you're not even allowed to play for the national championship.
Is that over now? Or is it still going on?
It went for 6 years, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's over now. But there was like a ripple effect from that.
But weren't they just in the? You were like happy like last month because they were like in playoffs or something, right?
That's basketball.
Oh, it was basketball.
Yeah, this is football.
All right.
The football team couldn't go. So now the thing is, the ripple effect of that is like, okay, if you are a kid from South Florida and you're one of the best and you want to go play in the NFL, you have to play in the national championship because it's a big game and everybody's going to watch it. You know what I mean? So University of Miami can't even go to a national championship. So they what's it called? They they couldn't even go. So a lot of our players would go to Florida State, go to University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Alabama 2 years ago, when they won the national championship, they're like say there's 11 players on offense, 11 players on defense. 7 out of the 11 players were from South Florida.
Mm.
They're from like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, what the hell?
How are
Like,
they incentivizing them to go to Alabama?
Nick Saban used to play in the NFL, and he's won like 8 national championships at Alabama. So like now NFL coaches come to that stadium and
So
they're like,
you think they're just going there for the later recruitment purposes?
that's 100% why
not
they're
the
going.
fun college lifestyle.
That's 100% why. And a lot of people are like, yo, I just want to go to the NFL. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, I could have fun in college. But now with the NIL, where they're paying players like millions of dollars, now they're like, fuck it. I'll go to Miami and I'll just get paid now. I don't fuck it. I may or may not make it to the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it really fucked us up.
Well, you have to enjoy your time now. Like preparing for the future is okay, but you still have to enjoy yourself in present time. A lot of people aren't doing that, John.
What is it called when like what is it called when you like when you're like putting up a stand, like you're marching, you are
Putting up a stand.
so like me not wearing a shirt right now representing women, like I'm really like fighting for women. Like I'm
Are you martyring yourself?
kind of, but I'm not really gonna be a martyr. It's a voice, it's an image, no, it's a
Oh,
statement.
I forgot to name this episode. Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So that's like sexist, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm in support of women. Like, it's messed up that I'm allowed to be here with my nipples out, my shirt off, and we're not going to get kicked off this episode. But if well, I am a woman, but if I was a biological woman, then she would get kicked off for being shirtless. That's not fair or right.
What if
We should get kicked off right now.
But what if you're like a trans dude and you have your shirt off?
What does that mean?
You're like a chick, but now you're a dude,
So, like,
and now you have your shirt off. So what about that?
so like Brittany Griner or something like that? Because you seen her with her shirt off?
No, it's like a dude.
Oh my God, I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm surprised because that's like a real base level of sexism. You know, that's blatantly like not fair. How come nobody like complains about that?
Brittany Griner shirt off. Okay, let's see if we can.
We can see her nipples right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, is that like a surgery or is she just like too athletic? Or is she like really a dude?
I don't know. Little Dave, look it up, please. Brittany Griner. Like, did she have her chest removed?
That's a mastectomy. Yeah, but you know, if like people talk about women's rights, this and that, and like, but that's like really like blatantly like, okay, this is a sexist thing, right? But everybody disagrees with that. Like, it's not a thing.
So yeah, it's like I don't understand though. Like,
But
why,
you know, like, I feel like
bro? Can you grab the mic, please, sir?
she did have him removed.
This dude just refuses to
So
get a
does
mic.
does that give you the green light to But she still had nipples though.
That's crazy.
I feel like, don't you feel like? Well, I've never like really been, but like I've heard that like if you're in like France or something like that, like they have like topless women, but it's just like normal and nobody ever like makes you think about it. Like you don't like talk about it, and it's just like whatever. So if we're talking about it and like you can't do it here, like why making a big deal about it? Because if it was really equal, why would you have one rule for one and not another?
So let's just say that there was a biological woman sitting here with her shirt off. Would we be able to just have a normal conversation with her?
No, it'd have to get like blurred out probably.
No. Would you be fine with it? Like, oh, hey, what up? How you doing?
Yeah. What am I, 12?
Boobies.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But I'm a mature adult, John. Like, I feel like most people are mature adults. Like, why can't everybody just be treated as so?
I agree.
Like, if you focus on something, you're just giving it more power. Like racism.
This guy. We're back. And now we're back. All right. So yeah, that's that situation. Let's get to the next situation. I wish little Dave could read these topics and not me. But my boy, don't worry guys, he's in like a Call of Duty tournament or something like that.
This is Call of Duty addict.
Loser.
He's in the Matrix.
Okay. This is another subject. Ginger is nigger spelled differently. And I feel some type of way about that. What do you say, Lil Dave?
I said, oh yeah, let me be a part of that.
Yeah, Lil Dave, you're supposed to read that one.
I feel like they're like the opposite. Color wise, like that's the palest person. So why wouldn't it be that backwards? Do you consider ginger people as like regular white people, or do you think they're their own race?
You know, that's actually a really good topic. I mean, so they have similar skin color as you do, but their hair is red distinctly.
And freckly and pale.
And freckly. Pale, like they really can't be in the sun.
Yeah.
So is it Irish people? Like, if you have red hair, do you come from Ireland or something like that?
I think so.
Is that where their like
think it's
alien
like a
race landed at or
but
something?
but there's there's gingers of every race though.
Is it mutation? Hey, little Dave, can you look up what makes a redhead redhead?
Yeah, it's just Irish, I believe. Not every person from Ireland has red hair though, but I think it's just more prevalent there. But you could think about like you could have like a Spanish ginger or like a black ginger.
Can you?
Yeah, think about like some
A
Spanish people.
black redheaded person?
Well, they have like more of a reddish tint, freckly, lighter skin than a normal black person.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Got a little bit of ginger race mixed in.
We got the gene is the MC1R gene. So when the redhead gets two of those, they become the redhead.
Whoa, there are black redheaded people.
Told you.
Wait,
Look up Spanish redheaded people. Sinbad's Sinbad the comedian. He's a black ginger.
no, he's not.
Yeah, he is, bro.
No, he's not. He-
Pull up a picture of him.
no, he's not, bro.
Man, that's the definition of black ginger.
Pull it up. Yo, I feel like these people are like painted their hair red. That's crazy though. Is this like if a redhead had a baby with a black person? Like if
Some Irish ginger got and spliced in somewhere in the timeline.
this girl's kind of cute. Now, excuse me if like, what if these are like wigs and they think that these black people really have red hair? I don't know if I believe this, bro.
I can't find it.
Somebody put in the comments if they think black people can have red hair.
Look at this man's beard. It's fucking red, bro. And look how freckly he is.
I think that's old age, man. I think that beard has died. Show me something else.
Nah, that's not dyed. The only reason you can even tell he's black is his facial structure. Look how white he is. And that's no Michael Jackson job
So
either.
it is a redhead and a black person had a baby.
He's Irish.
He's Irish?
Obviously, look at his red hair.
Wikipedia.
Man, the history is so convoluted. Like people really, I think only a small percentage of people actually know like what their real race is. I mean, more so now because they have like ancestry and stuff like that.
Like, do you think black people or do you think there's multitude of black people?
I think a lot of black people have like white mixed with them and they don't know it.
I mean, yeah,
then they
all
find
the
out
raping
later.
and pillaging y'all did.
Well, I mean, it was their time.
Oh.
Other black
There-
people have raped and pillaged through Europe before. I mean, it's not fun like they didn't. You ever met a Sicilian?
You did it too. Or
Exactly.
a Portuguese person.
Exactly. They made their way up through. And all through, man, like history is not well documented. And it doesn't take very many generations to like change what the truth of history is. I'm just gonna Google it, man. Black ginger.
Or put in
Man, Dave Chappelle had a whole bit on it. Like
is what's his name a black ginger?
Sinbad?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next topic while we talk about this though.
Like black ginger people. I got results.
Okay, so this next topic is called. Bro, I already looked it up. You're supposed to be looking up what Sinbad's race is and if he's Irish or not. Fucked less is the next topic. And it was okay, so I said that I'm interested in polygamy. But like a question that I always hear and a question that I think of to myself is like, John, would you, if you had a daughter, would you be okay with like her knowing about the polygamy lifestyle and stuff like that? And then I thought to myself, and I was like, I mean, what would be the downfall of her being in a polygamous relationship? Like, okay, if my daughter gets married, she's already going to be getting like smashed by some dude. You know what I mean? But if she's in a polygamous relationship, she's actually going to be getting smashed less. And I believe there's another woman there. So if there was like an abusive situation or something like that, then the other woman would be there to help out, or at least like talk about it.
Unless
you can't keep two women quiet.
Unless they're just being controlled by like some cult leader type situation.
Like R. Kelly type situation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like the Jared Leto guy. You know that guy? Like
Is he an actor?
He's an actor and he has a band too, but he got accused of having like a cult too of it's like a ton of chicks. But thinking like on a lower scale, I don't know. I guess whatever works for the people is what it is. It's not like a normal lifestyle, but I mean, what can you do about it anyway?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you were saying, what can you do about it? Like, what can you do about it if your daughter wants to do it? But I mean, it's like, okay, that's a great question because whether I am the one doing it, polygamy is already a thing. But I guess if you do it, then it kind of like might make it seem like it's okay or something like that.
If you do it.
If I was to do it, it would kind of show my daughter that it's okay. When I'm not saying that I agree that it's okay or anything like that, but well, I'm not. I do think it's okay.
You think it's okay?
I do think it's okay, but yeah. So that's always a struggle right there.
So then why would you be like worried about your daughter doing it then?
I wouldn't be, but other people, they're, it's one of those things like, oh, like imagine if you had kids in the situation, even though they would be well taken care of, well watched over. We have money, so they would be secure. They wouldn't want for anything. There would be no like I feel like with multiple people, then the kid might even have more attention. You know what I mean? Like everybody damn near has a designated day.
So are you feeling like a what do they call those people in like Salt Lake City, like Utah?
Mormon?
Like Mormon type situation, like with one rich dude who got like
I think
4 or 5 wives.
I think sometimes they go a little bit too far with it, but like, cause it's like, I don't like when it's like
See, but the situation you described me isn't really like that though. Because like, say like the Mormon way is like, okay, the dude got bread, he could afford to take care of like 3 or 4 women. Or 5 or 6, however many he can take care of.
Well, my thing is all of us are going to be putting our money in together. So I'm not taking care of anyone. We're all taking care of each other. You know what I mean? Or it's like, I am taking care of you guys because I'm going to be putting my money in too. And like, maybe we have one who stays home with the kids and maybe we have one who wants to work and goes out as a lawyer or a doctor. Like, cause that's this thing too. There's women who want careers, but they can't be home with the family. You know what I mean? And there's women who want to be home with the family and they don't really want a career, but they need money. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You turned me down. No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah.
Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Oh, I turned on the wrong
Yeah.
headphone.
I guess it's okay if the people could get along. It seems unlikely to have those personalities like all in there, just living in harmony, like with no jealousy, just stacking the bread, getting along.
Well, what would the jealousy come from?
Well, between girl and girl, I mean, are you having other dudes in your scenario?
No. But see, my thought process on that is, okay, like if one of these girls gets pregnant, we know who got them pregnant. It was me.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
She's already down to have let you and justify. Well, you got 2 other girls, John. Well, I can't step out.
That's not just like we both have another girlfriend.
So she's a lesbo too.
She's bi. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be away at work. I'm gonna be driving. You know, I'm gonna be in Seattle, Washington in the cargo van. You guys are still here. You can watch Netflix. You guys can talk, gossip about work. You can gossip about home and whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all can flip flop if you want to. And then y'all can like, you know, I'm not gonna get into what they can do, but they can do those things too.
I mean, it sounds okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think you just.
But I don't know. I just don't see like I think like there'll be personality clashes.
I mean, there already are. That's my thing.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's a
I
good
feel
thing
like
as
it
well.
would just make for a less, because that's my thing. It's like, I feel like, do you hear that in the headphones? I think it's my phone.
I think it is,
Let's see.
and it's not like super loud though.
I don't like it. But, so I feel like, right now it's hard, you know what I mean? And like you said, with the clashing of the personalities and stuff, I really just don't feel like I'm gonna be there very often. You know what I mean? So it's like
So then, what is the benefit of you of doing that? Just for when you're there?
I want to have kids and I want them to have a safe environment. And there's still gonna be 2 people there.
Not
you know
gonna
what I
have only one of them be a baby mama though, or both baby mamas.
mean? That's up to them. I think that'd be dope to have both. I could have 2 kids at the same time, like the same day,
Yeah,
and then see who like has the baby first.
have a content.
You know, but like,
Now, do you have this lined up?
no, not at all.
What percentage are you of having this dream completed?
Well, I'll tell you the dream. The dream is 5 girlfriends or 5 wives.
I don't think you can manage 5 girls in one house.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not. They're managing me. You know what I mean? Like they manage it. I'm not managing anything. I'm just working.
No,
But,
are you gonna have?
but if
one?
I had 5,
Are you gonna have
if
one?
I have 5, that's if I hit for like a bill on the lotto. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'll give you $20 million to come into this situation.
That's
How's,
awfully high.
how's that ridiculous? So I have like 700 million.
I feel like you could lease cheaper.
I don't want to lease. I want to bring them in this situation. It's like signing a deal. It's like signing a contract. You know, a sign-on bonus.
What if they don't want to leave though?
What if they want to leave?
Yeah.
Well, if I brought you onto our situation, that means I feel like you financially can handle the 20 million. So if you want to leave within 5 years, you have to get back 18 million. And then, okay, so I took a 2 million loss. Cool. I'll just, go ahead and try again. Like, someone's going to stay because it's really not a bad situation.
Now, would you try to get all these to be like American girls or like hardworking,
Well-
like foreign chicks?
Well, if we're talking about John's dream, it'll be like a black woman, a white woman, a Spanish woman, an Asian woman, and a Middle Eastern woman.
No ginger?
That might be the white one.
Well, then you don't have a white one because you already determined that's a different race though.
That's deep. Nah, I don't know if it. So then, are blondes a different race, or brunettes?
No, that's white.
But redhead for sure different.
Possibly.
I don't know if I
That's
agree
a
with
very
that.
unique set of characteristics though.
Is it unique? It's just like a blonde girl. Her drapes and rugs are both
Maybe, maybe not.
blonde.
It's not always the case.
I think it is always the case. I mean, I personally wouldn't know.
I think that is always the case.
Um,
Yeah, but there's such a thing as if you want to get technical and like we could throw like the South Park references, as we do every time about something. Or other, there's such a thing as a daywalker too.
a daywalker?
Daywalker, which is like it's like half ginger. You ever seen South Park?
Have I ever seen South Park?
Yeah, because one of the South Park characters is a ginger, and Cartman's always like calling him a ginger, this and that.
Is that not Kenny? Kyle?
Kyle, he's the ginger, yeah.
Is he
And then-
Jewish?
Yeah, yeah. That's another thing too. Like there's Jewish gingers too, and they're like Middle Eastern, I guess, originally. But anyway, like I forgot who he says a daywalker. Like they have all the characteristics, but they can go out in the day and get like sun.
He said, but they can't go up.
Yeah, I call like my sister Angela. I call her a daywalker.
Dang.
Yeah,
Scrap said, is that not the same thing as an albino? That makes sense.
a ginger.
That's a valid point.
Mm,
But black
there's black
albinos
definitely.
who don't look like what the ginger makes look like.
Yeah, but they still look black though. They just have no
Pigment.
pigment. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Um, Let me go to the next topic because that one kind of went a little bit,
Yeah.
but it was strong.
It was strong.
Um, Dave. Um, so as of right now, I am, I'm, I'm single, but like I'm not really looking to mingle. You know what I mean? But when I do occasionally like talk to somebody, it's annoying, bro. Like it's like just a lot of people are boring and they don't have much going on. It's the same question over and over and over again. And then I said like it feels like I'm like bragging. Like I don't like talking about myself. You know what I mean? I don't like bringing up things that I've done. But then also if you don't, it's almost like they're gonna play with you. You know what I mean? And then, but it's like, then it's like, does she like me for me? But then that is me. What you have is you.
Yeah,
That's crazy because it's like if you have $1 million, people were like, "Oh, don't say that." But it's like that kind of means that you're like a hard worker.
well, that's maybe because you don't talk to people in your same echelon. Yeah,
You said I don't.
yeah, maybe that's the problem.
What would you say like my echelon is?
Well, you work, you make moves, you hustle, um, meaning that you're always like doing something or another.
Hmm.
Um, and if you're talking to like, and I noticed the past few girls you talked to were a little younger, a little younger.
Um,
So that's the different.
I was talking to somebody about that too. Um, and hold on, we're gonna hold on the subject. Subject is older guys talking to younger women. I wish little Dave could be over here and do this.
Man, he's spoiled, bro.
I hate that dude, man.
He's like a little rich boy. Exactly.
He's like, except for rich.
I'm not rich. Quit acting like it.
All right, so it's like, you know, so I was talking to somebody. We'll keep them silent, but we were just talking about why things might not have worked out, and one thing about it is like, let's say if like the woman is the same age as the guy, I feel like by the time the dude gets his shit together, the girl is either A, feeling like she's running out of time and needs to kind of like nest or do whatever. But like, so then they might like go to the next level older guy who is already in that secure area and stage and stuff.
Yeah.
So then say like somebody like me, I'm 34 years old and okay, let's say I was building with somebody and then that didn't work out, whatever. It's crazy because it's almost like, do I want to date like a 34-year-old chick? It's like, why?
Like right now?
No, I'm not even talking about me personally, but I'm just saying like, you know, like as a 34-year-old guy, Like if you're single, you know, and it's like, why not date like a 26-year-old chick? You know what I mean? Like it's almost like going back in time. You know, but like say like a 34-year-old woman, like they could be amazing. They're probably, but they could also be more established, you know, but I don't know. What do you think about dating younger, and how much younger is too young?
I feel like in the next generation, it's like because you don't have the same references, same like knowledge points, same like culture that you grew up in that age group. You know,
Mm.
um, I don't know, like, but women get to maturity at a faster level too. I would say like by like lower 30s, like not everybody, of course, you know, because there's 40-year-old girls who don't have their shit together. And there's like 28-year-old girls who do have their shit together. So
Yeah.
it really varies on the personality as
Hmm.
well. But I would say, like, generally speaking, like more than like 10 or so is it's pushing it.
A little OD.
Yeah. See, but I
So,
don't know though,
so
because
that's
like,
me like talking to a 24-year-old chick. But I feel you on like,
see, but it matters like your age too. Because like right now I'm 42. I think like a 32-year-old chick would probably be pretty similar on.
yeah. But
If
you
I
could,
was 32 and the girl was 22,
yeah,
that's
there's not
a
enough
bigger
life
difference.
experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
I can understand
Yeah.
that.
So, but let's say you're like, you got bread and you're like 50, you're like, okay, I don't want to get a 50-year-old girl. I want to get a 35-year-old girl.
I'm saying,
That's probably doable.
yeah,
It's probably doable. And in fact, it's probably better for the 35-year-old girl too.
Yeah.
Because guys go slower, man. And like,
and if he's like 50, like she said, he's just gonna be home, you know what I mean, talking to her and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Definitely, hopefully financially secure if she's gonna be with him, you know?
and there's a lot of younger dudes like these days that like, even in like their lower 40s, they still act like fucking children.
Mm.
And, you know, the selfishness, like just the way they operate. I don't know. Um, they're just not mature emotionally. And as the girl gets older too, they're gonna want that uh, emotional maturity. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, screw you, girl. I'm going to hang out with my friends.
Mm.
This and that. It's like you're fucking like 42. What are you talking about?
mean-
Like if I could take your ass home, that's what you need to be doing. You know. But then but then you don't want to be at home, and the girl always wants to go somewhere either, because that's not going to work out either.
I don't know, because that's the thing I was talking to my boy at. That's why I hit up our boy, and I wish he would, you know, he could have been here to talk about it a little bit. But it's like we were like, man, what if like I'm 34, I could like not even date for like the next 6 years, just stack up bread. Then when I'm 40, give me like a 28-year-old chick, you know what I mean? And like, okay, she wants to travel with her friends. I'll actually have the money to be able to help support that. And like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, go do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I feel like maybe 18 to 21 to 23 is a little bit too young. But like, let's say if they're like 24, 25 or whatever, it's like, bro, go do whatever you want to do. Like,
That's still pretty young. That sounds like a headache, bro.
well, what is she gonna want to do that like,
Whatever, because girls got a lot of options to do shit.
well, go, I'm saying, go do it.
Especially if she's cute. You know what I mean? And
Well, what do you mean? Like they
mean,
want to go
if
to like
that's your
Coachella
goal-
or something like that?
well, whatever.
I'll just take her, pay for her ticket to go to Coachella.
Sure, you'd be trying to pay.
I'm fit. Well, at that time I'll be 40. Like it's not even gonna be. Oh my God, you're 42.
But I feel you. But like a younger girl like that is gonna be wanting to do this, do that. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to generalize. You know, everybody's different. Like it's really hard to generalize. But I would say like an attractive girl's got a lot of options. She's gonna want to go. Now, if you just like are your time together is your time together, then you ain't worried about what the fuck she's doing.
Your mic.
Then that's one thing. You know what I mean? But that's not really a relationship either. Now is it? That's just like you fuck with that person lightly. But then why is she fucking with you? You're old.
You know, I've been thinking about this too, about just like how much people put into like relationships. It's almost like relationships be like 80% of people's lives. And like, I think a problem for me is I try and make like my relationship like 25% of my life, but that's not even in a bad way. I just feel like you can't let it be you. You know what I mean? Like I'm in this relationship, but we're growing. Like now, say family, you know what I mean? Like family is definitely a big part, you know what I mean? But I still shouldn't be all of who you are, you know what I mean? Because then, like, let's say you guys get a divorce and like you lose your family or something, then you're like, damn, what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there just needs to be a balance, you know, and let's say I have a girl, okay? It's like, okay, but I also have this company. I also have like, I'm trying to like, I'm trying to build that family and that empire. You know what I mean? Like, how, oh, she's gonna want to go, go, go. Like, I feel like that is like a younger girl's thing, but that is just what it is. Like, and there's like, oh, if you're not gonna go, go, go with me, I'm gonna go to the next dude. It's like you're never gonna land like that. Just go have fun. You don't need to be with a guy to do it. Go with your homegirls. Just go do whatever, and then just come back home.
I mean, ideally,
Yeah.
I guess if that is ideal, but that's putting expectations. That's assumptions.
Is it putting
That's
expectations?
violating Rule 3. That's assumptions.
Wait, what's
Rule 3.
rule 3?
Well, you know, I just did the 4 agreements or whatever.
Oh, let's talk about that.
So the third agreement is not to assume
What am I assuming?
that that's what they're gonna do. Like in your, and it describes it kind of like this in the book. It's like in your reality, that's what they're supposed to be doing, but their reality of what they're doing probably doesn't coincide with your reality. And when you assume that it does, that's a juncture for disappointment.
I'm not assuming though. I'm not assuming that they're gonna do. What I'm saying is, I feel like you were assuming they don't want to be with me if I'm not gonna go, go, go.
Well, you don't have to go, but I mean, if you let them just run, they probably will be fine with it. But, I mean, if you're cool with that, though.
If you're cool with that though.
Yeah, but you're saying like go party and just come back. Maybe they don't want to come back. We don't know. So that kind of is an assumption. See, I don't know. I don't like it when everybody's like tries to be like so rigid about like themselves. It's like there got to be like give in between people. There has to be, or else everybody's just gonna be like miserable and expecting something that they're never gonna fucking get because it's an unrealistic thing. But you're so rigid to what you think it's supposed to be, and it might not be that. So I mean, I don't like that. That's what I remember we were at my mom's house earlier, and we were talking about you and
Please,
little
please, no names. Please, no
little
names.
situation.
Please,
and I
please.
was saying that you were being
I'm too harsh?
You were being overly like boundaried up and this and that because of your prior experience. And I can't stand for this. I gotta have it this way. I gotta have it this way. And then this girl, she's coming off a similar thing as you. And I can't have it like this. I can't have it like that. And everybody's like, boom, wall to wall, wall to wall, wall to wall, and nobody's giving. You know, nobody's giving. Where's the compromise? Gotta have compromise.
I'm not saying I don't agree with compromise, but it's like I don't want to compromise on everything because then sometimes I feel there's resentment. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you compromise too much, then I feel like you're really not there at all. Like then you become like a shell of yourself. Then you just, man, and I'm not, but like, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any compromise or anything like that, but you really need to have also your boundaries and stand on them. Cause like some things like that story I was telling you about before, that person was wilding. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, oh, John is just too harsh. Sometimes, but in that situation, I was like, bro, there's a couple red flags going on here. I might as well dip early. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to stay around for a million things.
I feel that.
That's what I don't like.
And that was like a 6-week or so situation.
Yeah. It's like OD.
Well, I feel like that was a clear. Also, on top of that, what I described earlier, it was clearly a clash of personalities and interests as well. That girl was like a relationship having girl, you know, that wanted to be like in a relationship and, you know, wants to be in the 80%, 75% of her time being wrapped up in a relationship. Whereas you're like,
Right.
you need to cut that back about 50%.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I need waters.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm out.
you can go get it if you want, or he might be too busy.
I'll get it my own self, man. I'll get it my own self.
Oh, he already went to go get it.
Fine. Fine. This equipment, yeah. He's missed.
Can we talk about like? I feel like Lil Dave is like becoming a man.
He's wilding, dude.
Like, is this like say like is he going through puberty? Don't spill the water on our shit, bro. Because like he's getting very like aggressive.
He's so aggressive.
Yeah,
He needs to chill out.
yeah, and then he's like chilling with his girl more and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it's like
Yeah, I mean, over the past like year or so, he's gained like, I don't know, how many pounds you gain? Some.
like 40.
I don't know, some though. Definitely some muscle and some growing. He's more like getting more like a dude than a kid, that's for sure. I guess. But anyway, he's too rowdy, man.
Too rowdy.
Yeah.
Do you think you could whoop him? Still?
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
But the
like
thing-
for sure.
The thing is about whipping him is he's gonna come in hot. So I'm gonna have to come in hot too. And really like
Really put him down.
put him
Really
on-
let him get
yeah,
like
let
grown
him-
man strength.
really gonna have to let him know, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna be like no sparring session. I'm gonna try to choke his little ass the fuck out. Or some. You know what I mean? I don't even want to take it there.
He doesn't want to take it there.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't want to do this to you, man.
Quit making me do this.
I don't want to do this to you, bro.
I mean, did your dad ever when you were starting to get a little rowdy, did you get a little whipping up? Or you listened though? You weren't a little bad little fucker probably.
Well, my dad whooped me when I was like younger. You know what I mean? So I was definitely scared of him. But at the same time, when I really look back at it, I'm like a D1 football player. Well, not D1, like D. Well, now it's D1, but at the time, I'm an NAIA football player. But so even at like 15, I'm like 5'10", $170 or something like that. I probably could have taken him because my dad, when I'm 15, he's 77 years old. You know what I mean? So like, it wasn't really like that. But also because he was old, it was like old. I was respectful and stuff. This dude's kind of disrespectful. He
got too much of an easy street.
I think he really just thinks he could take you though. Like the bass in his voice he's like, but he's like, nah, dude, I'll knock you the fuck out.
Huh.
I wish you guys had some gloves at the very least.
Do you think is that inevitable?
That you guys are gonna scrap?
No, that like people fight their dads. I fought my
I think it should be.
I fought my stepdad a couple times.
Yeah, I think it's like a rite of passage type situation. Like, I don't think he can really call himself a man until he can lay you down, lay down his old man. At least knock you, like
I don't know, man.
hit you in the chin and you land on your butt.
That's
you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
disrespectful, though. Like why you want to?
Yeah, that's the point. It's like I'm a man now. I am disrespecting you,
but-
man to man. Like this is the first man
that's not
he
a-
should have to fight because then he's gonna have to go out and fight other men.
That's not a true manly situation because you wouldn't want to fight your dad if
You're not talking to the mic again, dude.
if you were truly a man. You wouldn't want to like try to fight your dad.
If you're truly a
Like
man, you wouldn't want to
that's
fight
some
your dad.
juvenile delinquent shit. Like you're disrespectful is what it is actually.
What do you think? Hank Hill's the ideal dad?
Yeah, Hank Hill's a great example.
Bobby, I don't want to do this.
Boy, ain't right. But Bobby can't beat Hank Hill, that's for sure.
Bobby's small as hell. That shit's funny as fuck.
That Dale Gribble son.
Dale Gribble. What about the Indian kid?
Yeah, well, his son is Dale Gribble's son.
Yeah. He's definitely whooping Dale.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny
think
as hell.
the Indian kid will whip Hank too, actually. But yeah, see, he got it too easy, man. Like,
Who, him?
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, man, I definitely think like, I mean, he's 16 now, so between 16 and 18, y'all got to put the gloves on at least once. Cause like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Once he turns 18, I don't know if you're gonna be able to take him, dude.
Probably not. Probably not. Now, should I just accept that or cheat?
If you admit, I won't beat you up.
Oh,
If what?
If you said if you admit it when I turn 18, and I definitely can.
Fuck you, I'll never admit. You're gonna have to knock me out. I don't think you can knock me out though.
no, he definitely like can knock you out. He's fast enough and has enough power, and he could catch you on the chin because he's like you said, he got fast hands.
He does got fast hands.
He'll catch you on the.
That's why
he'll go to sleep.
I'm not gonna box him. I'm gonna rush him.
Yeah, you should definitely rush him.
I ain't gonna box him. I'm playing him close. I'm playing him close. He got too much reach and speed. That's a grappling situation.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna kick you right in your face if you get close to me.
Nah, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You know why? Because I'm gonna make sure it goes down in the proper area too. Because in Ninja Turtles it says Master Splinter says the true ninja is a master of himself and his environment. So I'm gonna make sure I fight you in the rain on some tile.
Would that make it better for you?
Yeah, because he's gonna put you out, throw a fancy kick, and his ass is gonna slip like he did the other day.
It's because the floor is wet.
Exactly. The ninja's the master of himself and his environment, John.
I hear that.
Yeah, I ain't fighting you on the concrete. Heck no.
You'll fight me on a slippery tile floor?
Yeah,
Well, you're going to be at a loss.
I have a lower center of gravity. I'll be fine.
You're fatter and heavier.
Fatter. than
Exactly.
me.
Well, I like my way of saying it better.
I have a lower center of gravity.
Exactly. Yeah, and plus I'm fucking like 42, bro. You gotta fight an 18-year-old.
Well, I think you guys are gonna have to fight eventually.
I know. It's gonna happen.
Which it'll be cool. And like, I mean, yeah, give him one good one to the, you know what I mean? Be like, oh shit, like this dude got some strength.
He's not stronger though.
My plan is to get good enough at dodging where I'll never have to get punched.
Dick, duck, dive, dodge, duck.
Get dug your dick, dog, dive, and
He thinks he's Floyd Mayweather.
He says dodge twice in that.
Yeah, he does. Okay, so this next topic, I think we might have to hold that and scrap it till next time or something, but it's, do dykes want to get their pussy eaten?
Are we gonna talk about it or no?
No, we're just gonna pass it up. I just wanted to put it out there so in case anybody might want to.
Put it out in the air.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say probably.
And I say no. But okay, 17 bricks wash up in Vero Beach. Man, I really like Central Florida on the East Coast. Like there's a lot of hurricanes that come this way. I think there's like a current that goes right into like Palm Coast area because there's a lot of shit that washes up on shore over this way. Like, man, I would definitely, what's that? Paused due to poor connection.
Well, you know the Gulf Stream like goes up along the Florida coast anyway, all the way to England. But I think there's like smaller currents that come off the side of that as you go like more west of it.
Yeah, and like, but why is it? It's always like, there's always some people who like tell. You know what I mean?
I know, like somebody just won the street lotto, and you're over there trying to tell them.
You know what's crazy though? Like, I just thought about this literally just right now. Like, okay, so imagine if someone tells, they like see someone grabbing all of them or something. Now imagine if you're that person that just grabs one or two, like 17 get found. Like that's a weird number to ship. You know what I mean? Like someone might have just grabbed 3 and dipped off. You know what I mean?
But maybe the bundle got busted open. It's just they washed up. Now, let's say that you did grab, and you're going back to your car. Are you trafficking? I mean, do you have a
Yes.
possible deniability that hey, I didn't want to just leave those out there?
I was on my way to
I was
the,
gonna bring them to the police station.
I was on my way to the police station,
I mean,
officer.
is that
You pretend you're on the phone with the cops. You're like this. Oh, hey, what's up, officer?
No, 'cause the-
yeah. Oh, you want me to bring these to the? All right, I'm on my way. Hey, hold on a second. Oh, my boy's calling in. I'm gonna answer it on the thing. Ugh. Shit.
Oh, we're gonna have a phone caller?
Yeah. Hey, hold on a second, yo. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yo, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, what up?
I can,
Hey, you're live on the podcast, dude. Don't say nothing crazy.
What's good, world?
Yo, we got my boy Ronnie in his house. What you up to though, yo?
Good. I'm on my way to Palm Coast.
Bro, come through to the podcast. Or you got something to do?
After I see my grandparents, I'll hit you up.
All right, man. Hold on. I'm gonna hit him with a topic real quick while he's here, and not the
All
crazy one that I just talked about.
No, hit him with that one.
No.
He's almost anonymous right now.
Is he? I think I already said his name.
It could be anybody.
I'll hit you with a couple one. Dave said Spanish food sucks.
Why you keep blasting that? And I didn't even say Spanish. It was like, he's trying to
Spanish food is my favorite type of food.
He's putting me on blast right now.
Like a good Spanish, like a Dominican or Puerto Rican type thing, Cuban. Oh
Yeah,
my God, that's my
Portugal
favorite.
wine and bar and grill.
He's
Oh, well, that's not Spanish. That's Portuguese.
I was mean like Hispanic-esque.
well, Hispanic.
Yeah, but I like that place too. That place is fire.
No, that is. I mean, it technically is Portugal, not Spain, but they're pretty
That's
close.
like one of my dad's favorite places
No, that place.
in the coast.
That place is fancy.
And then how do you feel about China buying IMG Academy?
What's IMG Academy? Why do I feel like I know what that is?
The football school over in Tampa that be putting out a lot of D1 players. And
Oh, okay, yeah. So China bought that? Wow.
yeah, bro. A
I mean,
Chinese.
they're buying American assets. They're buying assets all over the world. I mean, if we're a capitalist society, which they're not, they're communists, but they're making it shake. What am I going to say? Buying them and another American buy it? Because if it was it for sale?
You got some strength. What? Yeah, it was for sale. Did you see that thing that I sent you as well, where it was like, what do you call it? Oh, did you see that thing that? It was like the Chinese AI thing where they put the thing on your head and they can like.
Yeah, that was wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I think that they're going to implement that. I think they're going to implement that into IMG because IMG is a private school.
Well, my thoughts on that is they probably won't, because why would they train American kids better than they train their own? That's like the same way like Chinese TikTok got its own type of algorithm that don't be feeding them the BS, but over here it's nothing but BS on there. So it's warfare.
That makes
They're
sense.
playing that shit right.
But I mean, our school system is to create workers, though, and I feel like that AI that we saw was more to tune people up to be workers. It's
like
like
solid
really
work.
it's hyper focusing your concentration. I don't know if you've read the article or see the thing that you sent me.
Bro, they could tell when you not paying attention.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
where you're looking and everything.
Yawning. That is.
Yeah, really hyper.
That's crazy.
Really.
And then like they can see your stats and stuff. That's bugged out.
And your parents can see it in like real time on a computer, like an app.
Wow.
Okay, so why were you yawning today in class? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, because school starts at like 7:00. But I see that
Maybe
with
if you cook some good dinner, I would fall asleep faster. Man, I was up all night.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. You be having call-ins all the time? Pretty lit.
Nah, I actually just got this new phone which has a better bottom piece, so we're gonna be working this in. I'm gonna turn this into a clip too. Ronnie calls in.
That's crazy.
yeah, this is the first call in.
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all when I'm done.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, peace out, world.
Peace. That was dope.
Yeah.
You wanted me to ask him about the dyke question? No, man.
The call in. Anybody should call in right now. People have your number.
Oh, here we go. Dave in the call-in show. He said, if people have my number.
I like the call in show, and people can like not say their name and just say whatever they want to say.
And we kind of got on the Chinese thing. I'm gonna play that clip now.
Well, China, how much percentage of money of America that company owns already? Like, didn't DeSantis do some things where he was like trying to ban Chinese company from buying up so much land in Florida and farmland? Maybe not necessarily DeSantis with the farmland, but that's a topic that's came up before. Other countries like buying too many American assets.
Yeah, they're doing that in New York a lot too, buying up a lot of real estate and not doing anything with it. All right, y'all, you're gonna listen to this. Let's see what we got.
Exactly when someone
Let's see.
At this primary school in China
蓝色是走神了，
know exactly when someone isn't paying attention.
白色就是你可能跟网络还没有连接好。
These headbands measure each student's level of concentration. The information is then directly sent to the teacher's computer and to parents.
做出选择吧 ，Good job。
Classrooms have robots that analyze students' health and engagement levels. Students wear uniforms with chips that track their locations. There are even surveillance cameras that monitor how often students check their phones or yawn during classes.
That's scary.
Schools say it wasn't hard for them getting parental consent to enroll kids into what is one of the world's largest experiments in AI education. A program that's supposed to boost students' grades while also feeding
That's
powerful
supposed to.
algorithms. Teachers at this primary school in China
See, I don't like that because school goes against your natural
Creativity.
instincts. Yeah. Like you really got to fall in line with school. It's hard to like break out and like do your own thing.
Yeah.
Even with like Baby O, like you want. I feel like a lot. Like I already mentioned this before that like blanket policies like hold you back from doing what you want to do.
I agree. That's why I kind of struggle with that situation.
Yeah. So being a good, it's crazy because like be a good student, is that good or bad?
It's not that it's bad. It just means that you are a very productive, hard worker. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't translate to if you were, I guess it does translate if you were going to own your own business, you know, because you'd want to be an efficient worker that's actually able to like,
But or is it just
Handle
programming you
tasks.
to be not a business owner or more of a worker for like a large corporation and fall in line for the government?
sometimes, and the older I get and the more entrepreneurial tasks that I do, you know, it's like, I don't want to say everybody just can't be an entrepreneur, but like you need to also have like basic skills.
But
You
I
can't
don't-
just like,
I don't
oh, I'm going to be the boss and I'm just going to hire people. It's like, but you need to know if they're fucking you over or not.
See, but I don't think that encourages people to have entrepreneurial spirit. I think that's creating more people that like follow the rules, like that method that they're doing. I think that's going to be the. And look, we've been talking about how like AI and robots going to take jobs. Like they're trying to make the people more robotic. So like, shut the fuck up about what you want, what you're thinking. Hyper focus on this job, lest you get replaced by a robot, which is it's going to happen anyway.
Right.
I think eventually going to want to like trim down the population anyway, and they're only going to want the people to follow the rules the most.
What are they going to do with the rest of the people?
It's not looking good for them.
Concentration camp?
That's where they get the social credit scores.
What if we're in it right now, though?
They're
And then,
trying to get
oh, wait, that's deep. What if we're in it right now and we are the people that don't follow the rules? And the people who do follow the rules have good credit and a lot of money, and they live in these gated communities. Like we said, away from people. So they kind of just turned this into the police state and the concentration camp. They got cameras everywhere. If we do something wrong, they put us in jail.
They're over the systems. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and like eventually they're gonna be like in the sky, shit like that.
It's like
they're not
that.
even gonna be here
It's
on
like
the ground.
the Elysium movie. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the thing. Like,
So
think about like
we're already in it right now. They just built it around us.
the beginning stages. Yeah. Because yeah, man, like they go from like on private jets to like a private airport to
Eventually
like,
they're
gated
gonna-
community to
Eventually they're gonna cut off resources to us and be like, y'all are just on your own. If you get it how you get it, y'all are costing us too much. Fuck your little cities. Now we're just in these gated communities.
once they can get it where they can get all the products and goods that they need made and still
with
be
robots.
and still be able to get it like through us.
Wow, we're on our own.
Yeah, you think-
And then we just got robots doing our bidding
Yeah.
that we would have you guys do, and they don't complain. They don't take breaks.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Yeah, for sure, man. And they're already doing that extermination anyway, with all this like climate change talk and blah blah, COVID vaccines, whatever, conditioning people to just listen.
I agree. All right, so now let's do a couple of little local things, and then I want to get into your topics, and you're gonna have to read your stuff. But so I also want Beachfront Grill buys hijackers. Where's Beachfront Grill?
I don't even know.
Like, where are they getting all this money from? I don't even know where they're at. Let's look up Beachfront Grill. I wish we had somebody that could look up Beachfront Grill.
Yeah, really. I feel like I do know where it is at, but I don't want to say it because I'm wrong.
Let's see, Beachfront Grill. It's a map, 1.4 miles away. Oh, it's over that way. Okay, I think I know where that is. Is that my boy's parents' spot? I think it is. They also own the Beachfront Hotel. Okay, so they bought hijackers. Oh, I want to read that one story. But let's see. Beachfront girl buys hijackers. I don't understand how hijackers went out of business.
I don't think they're out of business.
They just sold while they were up. That makes sense.
I don't like hijackers.
Are you kidding me? They're like buffalo chicken strips. Oh my god.
I've been there a few times, and every time.
In the world, Craig, you're lying to yourself.
Nah, man, for real.
We should go there right now.
I don't want to go there.
Oh, we're definitely gonna put them on the food review list.
I'd rather go to Beachfront Grill.
Oh, what if they become airport grill now? Like beachfront grill, airport grill. That'd be
Maybe.
dope. What was that just? Oh, Flagler Live was on this phone right here, I think.
You know, I did see that they're gonna put like a German restaurant in Palm Coast or in Flagler somewhere. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna go there.
Whoa, this just dropped. It said Uber Eats driver killed and dismembered while delivering food to Florida home. That's crazy.
Damn.
Pasco County.
Ooh, that Pasco riffraff.
Where is Pasco? Tampa side?
That's like north of Tampa. That's the county north.
Oscar Solis, 30, is charged with murder while engaged in robbery in the death of Randall Cook, 59.
Damn, why you kill that old man?
Cook's
And
wife
dismember
reported
him.
him missing on April 19th after he failed to return home or answer his phone, even though the old man was the one Uber Eats delivering and stuff like that.
Well, hold on. The old man
who
killed the young guy?
allowed detectives access to security video. A clip showed Cook at the door with a delivery bag, but it then cuts off after about 30 seconds. Video from cameras in the back of the home showed men carrying large black trash bags out of the home the next morning. Whoa. Authorities found Cook's wallet and keys in Solis' bedroom. Cook's holiday vehicle was also found about a third of a mile from the home in search. A trash bag with bloody rags, paper towels, and a time card with Solis' name on it were found inside the car. Damn. Authorities have not identified a motive and described it as a demonic act. It says Indiana court records show Solis was sentenced in 2011 case of auto theft and burglary and had ties to the MS-13 gang with involvement in a prison stabbing. Look at his buddy's face. My man has a big 13 on his forehead. Of course he's involved in MS-13.
That guy's 30?
Right.
Damn.
He's been through a lot. Let's see. Oh, it's too far for me to show the people.
Yeah, they should get that guy off the streets, man. Like, man, those face tats, man, is just like, just doesn't go into society. Unless you're a rapper, like, why do you have that?
That's crazy, but I wanted to read that other article I was reading on Flagler Weekly or on Flagler Live. The one about the kid tired of getting bullied, 15-year-old FPC student. So guys, there's a kid at FPC. Once again, little Dave can't help us with any information about it, but it says 15-year-old student at FPC is facing second-degree felony charges of making written threats to kill following a conflict with two other students that led to allegedly threatening messages posted on social media. One of the texts produced by a student for FPC's dean one of the texts produced by a student. So like a student showed the dean and it was on Snapchat, was allegedly by a 15-year-old making overt death threats, pointing the threats at two individuals and picturing himself exhaling smoke, according to his arrest report. Like this dude, so he was just smoking, like exhaling, like, and had two ops on there. That's crazy.
But what does that got to do with threatening? If he's just blowing out smoke,
Bro, it means we got smoke.
they do. Those kids were fucking with him though.
Now it's all hearsay. Does he have proof they were fucking with him? Like I could just do something to you and be like, yo, they were fucking with me.
I guess so.
Like if I'm bold enough to like be 15-year-olds smoking,
You know,
you know what I mean?
well, first,
What 15-year-olds smoke?
but it's already documented they stole his shit, right? They were like
I don't know
bullying
what's
him and
documented.
they were taking his shit and fucking with him.
It says when they asked why he did it, it says because he was tired of being bullied. A quote, because he was tired of being bullied and picked on, according to his arrest report, and that he did not mean it. He was placed under arrest and turned over to the Department of Juvenile Justice.
I don't think he should have got arrested for that.
Bullying is never acceptable, and making threats to settle the score is not a joke and will always be taken seriously, Sheriff Rick Stalley said in a statement issued this afternoon. We don't like making these arrests, but we will come knocking on your door if your child makes any threat to harm someone. Really?
I don't like that shit, man.
Parents, talk to your kids and be the sheriff in your home and teach them what to do if they are bullied. What do? They should report bullying to the SRD, Student Resource Detective, or school administrators. SRDs refer to school resource deputies. There is at least one in every school. There are also school counselors available to the sheriff continued. If you are a bully, stop it. You could be the impetus to a school shooting. Thank you to the student who alerted school administrators, who then reported the threat to the SRD. Students arrested on such charges are typically released to their parents pending juvenile court proceedings, where the charge is generally disposed through probation and letters of apology in a sealed juvenile record, assuming the individual does not reoffend. So basically, he's saying like it's not really doing too much.
I don't love it.
My thing is like one.
Look, people get mad and say shit.
They say like let's be real about it though. Like, you know, oh, you should go talk to the student resource deputy. Well, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah,
Number
not.
one, go talk to the.
School counselor?
They're not gonna do nothing.
No.
They're not gonna get out of their office and go do something.
No.
And I'm not saying that he should have threatened them. Maybe not with a gun or killing them, but like you said, just handle it with your own
Well,
1-2. Get beat up like your daddy used to.
Well, he's just talking shit, trying to scare them. Like, 'cause that's what the bully said that he said. He was just trying to intimidate them. Well, obviously. I feel like that's just sending the wrong message. Like, and that's like I want to say like free speech, but like they say like free speech, you can't like threaten nobody. But like all throughout time before, people like been talking shit. People talk shit. A lot of people gonna talk shit and not do nothing. Let them vent it out. Just because it's like Snapchat now and people are gonna record it.
That's another thing. It's like this is going back to the police state thing. Like
Exactly.
you can't even say anything. Is it freedom of speech?
See how they're trying to tune people up to already like make it acceptable? Like we'll always arrest or take a threat seriously. Like, you know, the world functioned just fine before you arrested fucking kids for talking shit to each other.
And
How many times have you gotten into like a beef and you're like, bitch, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna go kill them. You just,
right.
this is like you're mad. That's what you say.
He said, I didn't
You're
mean
not
it.
literally gonna go fucking kill them.
Yeah. And it's, I guess my thing also is like, why, if I say, like you said, why if I say something, does that mean I'm going to do it?
Exactly.
Why am I not allowed to just
See,
say it? What if I was joking?
That's just a further robotic society.
Yeah, because once you say it and the robot comes to arrest you, then you just get arrested.
So you just got to be like, you can't even express yourself. Like, instead of even arresting that kid, they should have put more focus on the kids that are fucking with him.
Like, really put them all in the room and see what's going on.
Yeah, instead of fucking arresting them. Why you got to arrest everybody for something?
And put him, I would possibly put them all in the room and maybe like put it on camera or something. Because, like, okay, if you're a bully, then be a bully. But if you're like, I don't know why he's talking about, I'm just a good kid, you ain't going to be able to go out there and be a bully again. I'd be like,
Well,
you
he went and
bitch
told
ass.
already. He went and told right away and showed the fucking text messages.
No, he didn't do it. Some other third
Yeah,
party.
but
did.
when you read it earlier to me earlier, you said that the bully was like, oh, he was just trying to intimidate us.
Well, at that point, the sheriff is coming to talk to you. If you're like a kid bully, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, but if we're all in a circle and you can actually point out and be like, bro, he was bullying me. He said this, this, and this. And if I'm like, no, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, okay, that's cool, but you're not gonna be able to go out and bully people again. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, you're a little bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you bully me, but you really bitched up when the cops came around. You know what I mean?
But he'll probably still bully somebody else. And now all they did was teach him that, yeah, you could do it. And you know what it reminds me of? Of like Snowden, the Marine kid that just got those documents. Julian Assange.
Edward Snowden.
Yeah. You know, you tell on people for doing something fucked up, and then they want to like point the finger at you. Like, and even now, like, what's that Matt Taibbi guy? They're like trying to trash him. And like, you seen them black socialist people that got arrested? It was like 4 of them from like some like kind of group, and they were talking like speaking facts about the Ukraine war and all the history before that. And they locked all 4 of those people up.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's all along the same lines. That accountability culture that don't say anything. You should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to say. Even
You think so?
Yeah.
And then
I
just
do
deal
think
with the like if you said racist stuff, I would just punch you in the face for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if I start talking shit and then you see me in town, say something.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, John, I'll fucking kill you. You spill coffee again in my house. Doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know, like I said,
Yeah.
society functioning just fine before every little small thing. We said
I'm gonna
that-
fuck you up.
We said this on the last thing. There got to be a certain amount of illegal, whoever, unmoral, whatever that means. Shit going down in the society. People aren't robots. People all got their own shit that they're into. Whatever. You don't have to criminalize everything. Then, like, I just don't agree with that, man.
That's true.
And now you're just teaching all these kids even more. So you better shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. That's all that's encouraging.
All right, now it's your turn for your topics.
Well, it's not necessarily my topics, but
Whew.
well, that was one of them right there.
What?
Kid bullied, sends back, gets arrested.
How is that one of your topics?
Why is it on my list? It's on my list. All right. Well, you know, just a quick little thing. It's not really much of a topic. It's just more of information that Kawasuchi just caught on fire yesterday.
Did it say how?
A piece of equipment.
So the whole building caught on fire?
Yeah. Well, they said the damage is minimal, but you know it's right next door to Pizza Hut, and the people at Pizza Hut noticed.
Were they closed or something like that?
Yeah, it was like at night. It was like 2:00 in the morning,
Damn.
or 1:50 or something like that.
Oh, I was like, that's why I was like, damn, how come nobody was there to even like notice or say anything?
I wonder
They
if it
just-
was I wonder if it was the air fryer, because you know they said that the air fryer made the Terra Nova's fire.
Wow, that's crazy. That's why I'd be unplugging mine.
And then when I read that, they were saying that
Mine be smelling like plastic sometimes.
even in Palm Coast, there's been like 6 fires from air fryers.
Whoa.
I'm seeing the air fryers are not so great.
Hey, little Dave, can you look up like why air fryers are catching on fire?
Yeah, what happened to Terra Novas is they had like a power surge, and then when it came back on, it like overloaded the air fryer, and it somehow like
And that's exactly why I tell you we need to turn off all our stuff before we do even show.
yeah. But they do get hot, man. I have like the air fryer they just got not too long ago. It can get up to 500 degrees.
Damn.
That's pretty hot for like a little box to sit on your counter.
Too much oil in them?
Because I think the drippings catch on fire.
Mm.
Because the other day I was like making some of there and started getting smoky in the house, and I noticed
Yeah.
it was getting
It's
it was
the
that,
oil
it was
that's-
that drip.
Ah, that makes sense. No wonder that smell was like, okay. It's like you're cooking the plastic at the bottom pretty much.
If you know
When the oil gets hot.
see the one I had is a really nice one, so it had like a nice drip tray. But if you're using that a lot of the time, that drip tray could probably overflow, especially like in a restaurant or something.
It can.
Yeah. And that grease fire is a rough one because you can't get it wet. But anywho, so that, you know, that sucks for Kawasuchi because I like, you know, that's my favorite sushi spot in town.
Is it?
Yep.
We can also go there because my boy who just called knows the people that work there.
Well, I you know, I've already said I put that on the list as my favorite spot. And if people disagree with me on it, you're wrong because I've been to every spot. And that's the best spot.
What makes sushi good?
Well, it's all kind of the same. I just think the vibe there. I think the fast there, the clean there.
Can,
the
like,
rolls
the
are
fish
good.
be good?
The rolls aren't overpriced. It's just like,
They have the Wednesday deal.
no, that's only at Publix.
I thought that was at I thought they like Wednesdays they had like half off or $5 or something like that.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
What else you got?
Oh, can I just point that out real fast though? The Publix $5 sushi is not a good deal. I feel like it's more of a ripoff because it forces you to buy multiple. And if you just bought the more expensive one, you walk out with a better deal.
So you're saying they're smaller,
Yeah.
whereas the bigger ones are
And
bigger.
you got to buy like 2 or 3, which is putting you in like $15 range. You could get like a nicer one for like $12, $11.99.
That'll fill you up.
Yeah, and you get more pieces than 3 of the $5 ones.
That makes
So
sense.
they're kind of jerking you with that $5.
Don't jerk me.
Don't jerk me. And this is actually your. See, these aren't my topics.
What's mine?
Okay, you know, one of my topics we keep glossing over. Is it fucked up if you got money and you thrift at Goodwill because it's trendy?
Wait, so it's not because it's a good price, but because it's trendy?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're just like, Goodwill pickups.
Yeah, exactly. And now you might find nicer items that actually poor people, now you're taking those items from the poor people who actually have to shop there. And now they're not going to get those nice finds because you're over there enjoying yourself with a latte, thrifting. You know what I mean?
Do you thrift?
No, not really. I mean, I'm going to go in there sometimes and shop around, but I wouldn't say I'm a thrifter. I got a really nice like polo sweater though. See, but that was fucked up because some other person
Could have got that.
maybe could have got that polo
How much did
sweater.
you get the polo sweater for?
Like $4.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like a $200 sweater.
Damn.
Yeah.
What is the Goodwill?
What is it?
Do people give it away stuff and they sell it?
Yeah. See, Goodwill is kind of fucked up, man. It's a company, and they employ people. Like, if you ever look at like places like Goodwill or like the Salvation Army or like AmVets, Goodwill is like a business. The CEO like gets a lot of money. They pay the people shit. They have a high markup. Whereas, like, say, like the Salvation Army, they use all their funds to go back into their programs that they run. You know, a lot of people don't know the Salvation Army is like a church, and they're really into like drug rehabilitation and also like supporting Christian ministries.
That makes sense.
But
Salvation.
They don't have a CEO. Theirs is set up like an army. They have generals and lieutenants.
Wow.
And this and that, yeah. And they make a lot of money, man, because they're getting tax exempt because they're a church.
Damn.
They're getting free merchandise and free labor because a lot of the outlets are ran by people in their drug programs.
So a lot of volunteer work.
Yeah. So they got a certain thing. And now Goodwill tries to catch all that altruistic vibe, but they're
Goodwill.
they're a corporation, yeah. But they're just they're like kind of virtue signal stealing. But anyway, so you think that's fucked up, right? I think it is.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't.
It's like, bitch, just go to Old Navy or go to fucking the Polo store or wherever.
It's like the reason I got this money is because I'm not spending it.
Maybe.
That's how I look at it.
Maybe not, but I don't know.
What else you got? I think you got one more good topic on there.
I'm just glad to have deleted it off the list. It's been on here for like
2 months.
since episode like 4. Oh, this is actually your topic too. Women married to professional that think they're a professional expert as well.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, have you ever seen somebody? It might be like a lady talking or something. It could even be a guy. Let me not make this a sexist thing. Like, let's say you're a guy and your wife's a lawyer. That doesn't mean you're a lawyer. Doesn't mean you know anything about law. You might know about a couple different cases, but too many times I've seen people be like, "Oh, I definitely know about it. Like, my husband is a doctor. Like, what does that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
What does that got to do with? You're not a doctor. What do you do? Like,
Go to Goodwill and drink lattes with his bread.
You could, and I'm not, once again, not making this sexist, but if you are like a stay-at-home mom, that's a career too. You could tell me about raising kids. You know what I mean? You could tell me about managing a home. You know what I mean? What you can't tell me about is being a manager of Publix because your husband's a manager of Publix. You know what I mean? Like,
I know things.
you're like, oh man, it's hard hiring people. Like, you just hear them. That's hard. Well, where do you know? Oh, well, I just heard about it.
Well, I think the average person just like regurgitate stuff they hear anyway, depending on whatever they listen to.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, they do. They all do.
That's a valid point.
I mean, I do that too.
Yeah, I do it too, but like, I just
I'm
don't
not
like
claiming-
I don't like using that as like a frame of reference. So it's like, oh, how do you know about it? Oh, my husband is a truck driver. You know, my husband's a cop.
Yeah, but
Like-
well, what I'm saying, like me, like just because I talk about it, I'm not necessarily saying I'm an expert. It's just the topic of interest I might have thought was interesting that I talk about.
Right.
But I'm regurgitating it,
Right.
with some of my own opinion on it as well.
But I think, you know, even though we all do it, I think it's the difference between like just hearing about it or something like that compared to like if you were to talk to me about like dance, you know what I mean? And somebody's like, what do you know? I was like, oh, well, you know what I mean? It's like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who do you think does that the most? You know what I mean? Is it like
probably.
the husband wives of lawyers, doctors,
See,
teachers,
that's an interesting question though, because I feel
police officers?
I feel like that's a way to like promote yourself to make you seem more important,
Hmm.
which I feel like a dude would want to do more because of the men have more of an ego than women, ish.
Ish.
But say for example, you're just at the house all day and your husband makes a lot of money, and you really ain't shit. All you do is like fuck a rich guy. You want to feel like you're important. You want to talk about it. You want to seem like you know something other than like nothing.
Man, it's loud.
So I mean, I get that, but I feel like if you're a dude and your girl's taking care of you, it's kind of a different situation.
You're a dude and your girl's taking care of you.
Yeah.
I mean, not exactly taken care of. It don't even have to be a taken care of because, like, say right now you have a job. So it's not like they're taking care of you, but you could just be dating a lawyer or married to a lawyer and you think you really know more than me about law because you're married to a lawyer.
Don't take that plea, John.
Yeah.
Nah, you can get off on this technicality.
Exactly.
Says Barbara.
Right.
Or whatever.
Trust me.
Yeah, trust me.
Frank is a lawyer.
Yeah. That's just like ego thing, man. People want to say something. I'll mention this too. I'm not going to bring it up because it's going to call out too many people. So I don't want to do it.
Yeah, please don't.
But okay, I'll give a loose.
Okay, I'll do it.
So something bad happens, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's cool to show support, but to keep trying to show support because it's just something for you to fucking talk about. You don't care about what happened. You just want people to know that you care about it. And I've seen that a lot this past week with something that happened.
What was the thing that?
I don't even want to say about it, but it was something fucked up that happened, and it's sad. But the way I feel like it went from over support to straight up just like, hey, look at me, I'm making a comment on something that happened, and I didn't like that. Like, don't use somebody else's shit just so you can like say stuff on social media.
It was something local though.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, you definitely do, but I don't. It's disrespectful to talk about it too much. But I didn't like the virtue signaling that was like going down. I didn't like it.
That's another topic. Like a lot of people don't like virtue signaling. What exactly is that, and why is it bad? Like that, I think it goes back to like what I don't like. I don't like when people are like, oh, don't record you like giving money to homeless people or something like that. It's like people never want that recorded, but they'll record fights or they'll talk about wars going on. Or
Yeah, but it's
something
not
like
really
that.
virtue signaling though. Virtue signaling is like taking a position on something so people think that you're a virtuous person or like a righteous person because you agree with this topic.
What if you are a righteous person?
If you were so righteous, you wouldn't have to say it.
That's what I don't agree with. Why do people always do that? Because like people are okay with everybody else expressing who they are, but if you're a righteous person, you're not allowed to express it.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with not being able to express it?
Yeah, if you go give money to a hobo, why are you showing off? Like, do you give money to a hobo or something?
The same reason everybody shows off, because I want more people to do it. It's like marketing. Like
Is that why you want to do it, or you want people to be like, oh,
I want
Sean's so
to
nice. He gives money to hobos.
I want to inspire people to do it. I want more people to do it.
That's not virtue signaling then.
I get it, but
Okay,
people are gonna
so
say.
I've seen,
people
like-
say anyways that it's just, oh, you shouldn't do it. You should just do it. It's like,
Okay, but have you seen like people that like will pull up on like a scene and act like they're doing like construction work and then just take the photo then like leave?
I've never seen nothing like
I've
that.
seen videos of that.
What is the point of doing that?
So people are like, oh look, she goes and volunteers to
Whoa, that's
blah.
kind of psycho.
yeah, and then
So
you didn't.
you're
really-
not really even helping.
No, you
like,
just went there and took a picture with like a hammer and then left.
I don't think that's virtue signaling either.
That's definitely virtue.
That's like
signaling.
conning. I think virtue signaling is really doing that stuff. You know, I don't.
Or it's
Lil
like-
Dave, can you look up what virtue signaling is?
Okay, it's like, say like you're a white dude, right? Or a white girl. And you go out of your way to like BLM up your profile page. It's like,
That's okay. What's wrong with that?
because you want to make sure that we know that you're not racist, but it's kind of more so racist because you're going out of your way to put that on there.
No.
like,
Why is it just because she's an ally and helping? Why does that
Maybe she's
mean?
not an ally. Maybe she's putting it on there so you think she is. Or say not in BLM. I shouldn't even brought that up talking to you. Let's just say it was like a
Oh, that
trans-
sounded like mad racist, B.
So okay, let's make it like a trans thing. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, she's so brave. I agree that she's a woman, but really, do you? Or you're just saying that because that's a popular opinion? You want people to say, "Hey,
But-
look, I'm fair."
Why do people just like go to that, man? Let's hear what the definition is.
All right, this is
Your mic. Hold on. No, I turned it down. All right.
test.
Yep.
Good.
Mhm.
All right. Virtue signaling. This is from Oxford. The public expression of opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character.
You're moving a little bit too fast for me. What? A public? What? Bro, he was like, I'm trying to like follow along.
I was on.
All right.
The public expression of opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or social conscience and the moral correctness.
Social.
So he comes right back to
See, why you gotta slow me down and then correct me?
You said social.
Look, so if I'm like,
Because I'm going all slow so you can hear me.
I was just
did
trying
you
to
cut that off?
comprehend you. Did you turn your mic off?
so yeah, virtue signaling is no good, bro. That's stupid.
I don't agree. What is wrong with me? Like, it's like everything else is cool. Like, we're allowed to watch people on NBA dunk a ball and be like, ah. But virtue signaling is bad.
Because it's free. You didn't do anything except agree with it.
Wait, what do you? But that's agreeing. That's taken aside.
See, no. It's part of a bigger picture, though. See, virtue signaling is almost like a social credit score. Oh, you don't agree with this? You're out of this? You're a bad person. Oh,
I don't
you do
agree with
this.
that. I think
you're so good.
I think that's a little bit different. That's like the reaction to the virtue signal.
No. It's a part of it.
So give me an
part of
example of what you're talking about. You're saying like, okay, if I was to be like, okay, by not wearing a shirt, am I virtue signaling?
No.
Why?
How's that virtue signaling, though? You're not like agreeing with a topic. It's like,
I'm agreeing with
Trying to make you
women
look
that
like a
it's,
better person.
I'm agreeing with women that it's messed up that they can't wear, that they can't be shirtless on the
I
podcast.
don't think that's virtue signaling.
So
No.
okay,
You're expressing a point. It's different.
now let's say if I was to be like, okay, this is a great one. This is a great one because you're either gonna have to agree with it or think that you're bullshit.
All right.
That's kind of like making noise. If I was to be like, yeah, you know what? A lot of these countries are shitholes. Is that virtue signaling?
No, it's not virtue signaling.
What? Give me an example of what virtue
Because-
signaling.
That's
I'm just agreeing with someone to let people know that I'm agreeing with people. Like,
no. I guess it would be virtue signaling to a specific crowd. Yes, that would be appealing to the opposite crowd. That
bro,
normally,
that's making a lot of
Oh,
noise
my
for
bad.
people who are listening.
See, but I feel like the person that would say that doesn't really. I don't even want to say that.
Because
Yes,
you're
that is-
wrong.
that is virtue signaling.
Exactly.
That is virtue signaling.
Exactly. They're just saying it just to agree with Trump and just let people know
but-
that they agree with
But
Trump.
John, a lot of those places are shitholes, though.
Exactly. So you should be able to say it and it not be virtue signaling.
No, because
you should.
it doesn't make me a good person to think that place is a shithole.
Virtue signaling doesn't always have to go to good. That's where you guys are fucking
You know
up.
what's
At.
virtue signaling? Me disagreeing with that. Like, no, some of those countries are not shitholes, but when they clearly are, but you don't want me, I don't want you to think that I don't like that population for some reason.
No, it's not
So
that.
that's
It's
why
like whenever someone does something good, that's why I think this world is like getting more evil. It's okay to say stuff like those places are shitholes, but it's not okay to stand on the side and be like, bro, that's fucked up for you to say that or something, like to quote unquote virtue signal. Like, why is it so bad to promote good things or promote that
It's
bad
not
things aren't
that you're
good?
promoting it. It's about that the virtue signaler wants you to know, or wants you to think they're a good person for whatever they're saying.
But they never
whether
say
they
that.
are or
people,
not.
people assume that that's what their intentions are.
That is their intentions.
You're assuming that.
We've seen people on Facebook who do this, John.
But you're assuming their intentions. There's going to be a percentage of people who that is their intentions.
I would say a large percentage.
But like, once again, that's why it's like, okay, the black square on Instagram.
Where's the black square?
Remember when everybody was posting a black square for like BLM and stuff like that?
I thought that was for Trayvon. For Trayvon.
No, it wasn't.
Blacked out.
It was for somebody else. It was in a similar thing. It was for like Philando Castile or something like that. But like people will say that's virtue signaling when like a white person would post it. But it's like, why am I not allowed to just be a part of this movement? Why is it that I'm not virtue? So people are assuming they're virtue signaling. And that's when sometimes I be looking at these people, I'm like, you're kind of like
I think it
evil.
goes on the level if you do it, because some people go overboard with it.
What is overboard? That's
That's like just too much. I mean,
I feel the
if you
same
have
way
like mad
about
stuff on it, you're talking about it too much, and like you really don't even like it doesn't even affect you.
I feel like the same way about like some of these
Like,
like
let's say you live in like fucking like Maine, where there ain't even no fucking black people at, and you're like so worried about it. It's like, what the fuck are you worried about it for? You don't have any experience in it. You just want to make sure that people think that you're on the good side of it.
right. And I feel like it's the same thing as like say some pastors or some other people who be speaking out so much against like transgender or like some of the other things, might not even have kids. And still like these are big topics for us. It's like, okay, so by definition, you're virtue
That
signaling.
is virtue signaling, yes.
And so that's my thing.
But I feel like it's convoluted more to like to a leftist lean, but the way you're saying it would be more like a right wing virtue,
Exactly.
which is definitely the case, yeah.
and it's like, but my thing is,
But I feel like
I don't
the
think
left
there's
side,
anything wrong.
I feel like the left side gets pointed out more. than the
It
right
does
side
get
of virtue
that.
signaling.
That's my whole point. You know,
Well,
what I mean?
then I agree.
It's like the people on the right always be complaining about some virtue signaling stuff when it's like, bro, I feel like every single topic is a virtue. I think even like the wearing the Make America Great Again hats are virtue signaling.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I need to let you guys know that.
To some extent, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I need to let you guys know that I'm a part of this party. It's like, bro, just vote. Nobody gives a fuck what part of the party you are. But why do people
but
do
I
that?
think
Because they want to inspire people to be more like them.
I think there's a line. I think there's a line between supporting and then just doing it to be like, yeah, look, I'm doing it.
I can.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's why it goes back to me, and I think why you call me a liberal. I think people should be free to like do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? I think that's what liberal means to me. Like, bro, just do whatever you want to do, man. As long as it's not physically hurting somebody.
Well,
you
that's
know?
like a classical liberal, yeah.
A what?
Like a classical liberal, libertarian, Satanist. That's all.
A Satanist?
That's very closely tied to like libertarian. Yeah.
Whoa. Satanism is tied closely to libertarian. What is Satanism?
Like, do what you want to do. Just don't like fuck with other people. Well, see, but they'll fuck with other people a little bit too.
Satan, as in like the devil?
Well, Satanists don't believe there's an actual devil. They just believe it's like you. Like, you know how some people say like you're a god or whatever. In other religions, like similar, like you're your own entity. And why not take what you want while you're here?
It's kind of selfish. I guess that's how
Yeah, but a lot of people are selfish.
they are.
Yeah, there's a lot of Satanists.
That's crazy.
Heck yeah. I think that was everything cleared out. Look, one more time. Then it's 6 o'clock.
What do you got to do?
I'm getting hungry.
Should we do a food review? Little Dave's here now.
We could, but where?
Oh, I got to show you guys that microphone that I got. What that vegan spot you said is kind of iffy or something like?
She said that she was like in the middle of remodeling and it looked messy inside. When I drove by the other day, it looked really clean. It was actually looked cleaner
You
than.
can see what the inside looks like from outside.
No, I saw the outside. I was.
It looked cleaner than
Yeah,
normal?
yeah. Well, I thought it looked cleaner than I expected it to. I was like, oh, I was like, this shop's nice. What you talking about? Maybe we should go there. Maybe get some vegan items. Yeah, we still have other like topics like the mud flood,
What mud flood?
like the mud flood of the early 1800s.
Talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's a lot to talk about for right at this juncture.
Yeah, we have like 11 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll give a quick rundown. But there's a lot of evidence that, like, you know, a lot of the buildings that we use today are like the tops of other buildings that were already here. And a lot of stuff was covered up by like a mud flood. Like I said, it's a lot to say. Like, say for instance, like in the Midwest, right? You'll see like a building, like a cathedral or something like that. And it's like, all right, you people are like pioneers. Why the fuck are you building a cathedral when you're barely like even living? That says, okay, that cathedral was already there. And I even saw something the other day, like in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There was a news story, and they weren't saying that there was a mud flood, but it got like exposed that there was like an underground part of the city there. And like you can see like at ground level, like the tops of like windows. Like say like, you know, like a brick building who has like the arch over the window.
So like here, the window would be on the ground or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like what happened was like the mud flood.
Is that like the theory that like the sand in the Sahara is really from somewhere else and there's shit underneath the sand? Because that's the theory with like the Sphinx and stuff like
Somewhat,
that.
yeah. Because then
And the pyramids are actually obelisks.
and I seen this actually the other day when what's his name?
Graham Hancock.
And you know the other fat, I don't know the other guy's name, but the fatter guy that's always with him.
Yeah, Graham Hancock and I can't remember.
But anyway, he was like showing like the sand and like from space, like LiDAR and satellite images that show like where water went and like where the water like flowed in and settled. But it was like a worldwide kind of event, like everywhere. Like me and Baby O watched a 6-hour documentary on.
Was it meteors hitting something and then it like there was a big meteor shower and stuff and then I heard it like melted the polar ice caps a little and raised the water level.
Could be that, but who knows? Like, and that's the point of the mud flood, and also that it only takes a few generations to erase everything that somebody knows.
Yeah, and that's true. And then also I heard that another theory is so like every so often the magnetic something actually like if a meteor hits hard enough or something or another happens, it actually changes like what magnetic north is and stuff like that. Like it used to be like I don't know if it was America because America was like covered with ice and stuff like that, and then it moved up more north. So then America like melted, you know what I mean? And then like they say that the North Pole and the South Pole, Antarctica, were like thriving, and then now they're like the new frozen parts.
That's
you know what I mean?
around, yeah.
And then so the other places melted and other places froze and shit like that. So right now there's a lot of shit in Antarctica that just got straight up frozen out of
Allegedly.
nowhere. You know, like kind of got knocked allegedly.
Yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff happening with Antarctica. Like it's weird. It's just weird that every country is in agreement that nobody's allowed to go there. And you know, like flat Earth types, you know, they'd be like, "There's an ice wall around our world, not at the bottom." And if you look at the map and like, say you just flatten the map out and like got the instead of South Pole being on the bottom, you spread it out.
It's like around us.
It's around us, and they even claim that there's other continents outside of that ice wall.
So pretty much like anywhere I go, I think I'm going down, but I'm actually going out. And the North Pole's the center of our world.
Yeah, and if it, say like you're going like west, right? You can go west, like it's, you know, like the rings, like the it's like
The
10, 20. I forgot the name of those lines.
The longitude and latitude.
Yeah, but the ones that go around in a circle, like you can
I
follow
believe
that.
that's
Go directly
latitude because it's a ladder.
west. Yeah, the longitudinal lines.
Or the long ones go up and
Oh,
down.
that's longitudinal.
I believe so. Little Dave, can you help us out?
Yeah, whichever
I believe latitude goes
Whichever-
around.
Okay, whichever ones go east to west. You know, so around the North Pole, it's like, you know, the 10, then the 20 as you go out, then like tropical.
So 0 is the center,
Yeah, exactly.
and it goes out to.
Like the 60 or whatever. Now, you ain't allowed to go like past that. And like, it's weird because every country, like,
It's in their same rule that you're
they
not allowed.
guard their section of that outer ice wall.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because you can't even go there. And when you do go to Antarctica, they take you to the part that's right below like Argentina or Chile, where we were looking up earlier, at the bottom there. Like, that's where they have the scientific bases that they let people go to.
I thought there was a dude who said he crossed Antarctica.
Yeah, that was the Admiral Byrd.
No, Someone recently was on Joe Rogan. And he like crossed South Antarctica with like a thing on his back.
I don't think so.
I'm looking
Don't
up.
let nobody go. They can only go to the little area that they're allowed to go to.
Are you allowed to walk across
Antarctica. Yo, it's crazy too because right at that same time, like the Admiral Byrd, like a lot of people were talking about that, and that's like when they first started coming out. Like after a while, they started like really pushing like Einstein's theories and stuff like that.
The man who walked across Antarctica, Colin O'Brady. Colin O'Brady is a 10-time world record-breaking explorer and one of the world's best endurance athletes. Can you walk across Antarctica? In 1997, the 34-year-old Norwegian pioneered a new route across the frozen continent, much of it never traveled by humans, over 64 days, 1,800 miles, to achieve one of the world's largest great geographical feats. Antarctica had now been crossed solo. I want to see the path.
Alleged path.
Colin.
And when did this happen?
Let's see, what's his name? 1997. Colin O'Brady's path. Watch him go like a little dip. I'm about to prove you wrong though, Dave.
I don't think one Google of some alleged guy is going to prove me wrong.
Colin O'Brady route. Okay, here we go. Oh no, Dave. I think you're right, but now you already said it doesn't count, so he's like, oh no, I'm right. Okay. Is this Antarctica? He kind of cheated, bro. He really cheated. Is this Antarctica? Okay. I'm going to show the people and then I'm going to show Dave. Oh, shit. I almost killed myself. Okay. Let's see if I can show him the route. God dang. It's not showing anything. Anyways. Dave, look at this route. You tell me what you think.
That's where they let you walk at. That is where they let you walk at.
Talk about the route, Dave.
Well, just because he went down that one way and he didn't cross it, he like marked a little segment of it and then kind of went back. Like if we turn it that way, yeah, he could have just walked along the little side. Mm-hmm. When you turn it that way, it's different than right there.
So,
because he's just walking around the border of.
So did he still not go through that area that they're allowed to go through?
Yeah, it looks like he just bordered the wall. Like if you have the map this way.
Phone's upside down.
Well, whichever way it is. The way that
you're not really showing me.
The way that they're presenting to us this is propagandic. Because
the way they're presenting it is propagandic?
Yeah, because if you turn it
is that
that
even
way,
a word? Little Dave, look up propagandic.
If it's not a word, I just made it up. Shakespeare was allowed to make up words, but why can't I? So anyway, like say there's a wall all the way around the earth or the outer of the earth.
Okay.
Like that could just be around the perimeter of that.
So because look where all the pieces are.
Exactly.
So it's still not through that wall.
Yeah. He's only on the border. He's bordering it.
He went from one wall piece to another
Let me show you this photo.
Show me early maps. We have 1.5 minutes left. That's dope. 2 minutes left. Early maps showing Antarctica surrounding the Earth.
Look, you see this right here? Look, that's what it is, all the way around the Earth. I need to show you a picture of the map, though.
The vast Ross ice shelf produces tons that vary in response to changing weather conditions. Flat earthers often confuse a picture of an ice shelf with the mythical ice wall in the flat earth model. They are wrong. There is no such ice wall in Antarctica. Flat earth debunking flat earth misconceptions.
Says who is this? That's what they say.
That's what the conspiracists say?
Yeah. No, that's what the anti-conspiracists say. It's try to like shut you up if you try to talk about it. But hold on, let me show you this. Then why is this? Yes.
That's crazy. So there's a wall, huh?
Yeah. The continent is protected by the Antarctic Treaty, which preserves it for peaceful and scientific uses. So they say that like penguins and polar bears, blah blah blah, but really they don't want people to know that there's other continents on the other side of that, so they can consolidate us here and make us work for resources and pose the image that we're dealing with
Limited resource.
limited resources. Yeah.
Because if we found out that there were other resources, then what? We wouldn't go to work.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess
We could just go back to living off the
they
land.
can limit it. Yeah. And 55 countries have signed it.
Electricity could be free.
Well, you know,
Food would be free. Water would be
they could have
free.
had they could have had free electricity already from like Tesla knew how to pull the currents out of the ether that's in the air. But you know, Edison and Westinghouse spent a lot of money trying to make him look like a psycho, and they actually killed an elephant. They electrocuted an elephant in front of a lot of people and tried to be like, "Oh, look, this guy's power source is crazy." When his was actually more efficient, and he like put it all on the paper, so everybody was like, "Oh, that's Tesla. He's in that job." But he understood more about natural energy. And in that 6-hour documentary we watched about the flat Earth, it's like like bricks can hold power, like red clay bricks. Can be
I did not know that.
Used as batteries, yeah.
I did not know
They
that.
can hold electric currents, and the way we use electric now and produce it is like really out of a capitalistic way to make money. Like anything free, they don't want that. It has to be in like the most profitable way at all. Like the person who keeps inventing the hydrogen power cars keeps getting murdered. Like every time someone's like, "Hey, I discovered how to make a car run on water," it's like that guy's gone.
Gone.
And you know that last like shooting in like Buffalo or Rochester or whatever just happened a couple months ago. Just so happens the last guy who invented that was smoked in that fucking shooting as well.
He was.
Yep.
He was.
And before that, the guy like he tried to sell this patent to Ford, and he wouldn't do it because he wanted to give it out for free. Then they fucking poisoned his ass. And right before he died, he was like, "Oh, they killed me.
Yeah.
They killed me.
They got me."
Right? Yeah. So yeah, I hate when people say like conspiracy theory because like when you look at just one thing under one light, it's easy to be like, "No, this is because of this, or this is not this because of that." But when you take in just like little fragments of like a bigger picture and add it all together, it's like some ain't adding up. Don't add up.
It doesn't. Well, guys, this was a great episode. I really like this one. I think we're getting better at this.
Yeah.
But now we got to start making clips. If you watch till the end of this episode, that means that you guys really like us and really appreciate us. If you know anybody local, they have to be from Flagler County. We need somebody to help us editing our videos and stuff like that. But other than that, appreciate you guys. You got anything else to say, Dave?
No, thanks for watching.
Definitely. All right. Peace, guys.
Bye.
Mm.